Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tesla Life number 175 for November the 11th, 2020, Remembrance Day here in Canada. And what day is it in the U.S.?
Veterans Day down here.
Veterans
Happy Remembrance Day.
And happy Veterans Day. I've got my poppy. You guys don't have a poppy.
No, I don't.
You didn't
know
get those
in
the mail, huh?
No.
Sometimes.
No, that's a Canadian British thing, the poppy. But welcome everyone to the show. We've got a ton of news as is usual, and joining us as we have every week, we have Mr. Casey Green joining us from the DC area. How are you today, sir?
Doing quite well. About to do another Tesla towing adventure.
Going to be doing a little bit of a move, are you?
That we will. Cross town a little bit.
Very good. Not as grueling as the last move.
Yeah, we'll be able to get more than 1 or 2 loads in per rental.
And also joining us, Mr. Patrick Connor from the West Coast. How are you today?
Hello, Tesla lifers. And a special hello to all my veteran brothers and sisters in arms out there. I don't know if you guys know this, but the whole reason I started thinking we need to drive electric was when I went to war for oil and said, this is really wrong. We shouldn't need to fight wars for this stuff. And yeah, it's just, I at that time wanted to make oil as important as salt is today. We used to fight wars for salt, and now it's just a cheap commodity we don't fight over anymore. And let's do the same thing to oil. So welcome all you Tesla lifers, and here where we are trying to bring about the energy evolution revolution and free from fossil fuels.
We are on our way, sir. Absolutely.
I hope so.
Well, our opening story this week is about an order for 150 Tesla semis that came from Pride Group, which Patrick did a little research before the show started because none of us really knew what Pride Group was. But apparently they're a Canadian and American company that is into a number of different facets. That rent equipment, logistics, transportation, whole number of things. But they put in order recently for 150 Tesla semis and have indicated through their website that that number may balloon to 500, depending on how well it works within the organization.
Right, yeah, I was, okay, just to be clear, the Pride Group has nothing to do with putting on Pride parades. They're also not at all related to the Proud Boys, and they're Pride Group Enterprises, which goes by PGE, which happens to be my local utility, Portland General Electric, also not related to them. So there's 3 things they're not.
Wherever they are, they need a lot of trucks.
Well, yeah, whatever they are, they need a lot of trucks because that's a fairly sizable order out of the gate to get. And of course, they may be trying to hit, drop their emission standards to get it to a more, level that they're after. And this certainly could do it for them. Being able to put in medium to short range trucks would be ideal for anyone that's looking to lower their carbon footprint.
Right, and it sounds like they really are running diesel vehicles now, so this will be directly taking those off the road. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And if Musk's goal of lining up the 500-mile unit with the rest stops and the trucker's schedule, it's probably longer range than we expect when you consider that it will also fill up in a lunch break while they're doing their logs and eat their lunch, take a shower, or whatever. So it might even be a short, long-range vehicle.
Well, yeah, we're hoping definitely for medium range at least. It's just the guys that run one side of the nation to the other that this is probably not suited for as of yet.
Oh, no,
until there's a better charging infrastructure that's built along, and of course you've got to walk before you run anyway. So let's cross that first hurdle and eliminate, because of course those shorter range trucks that happen now in transportation, they are typically trucks that run longer and dirtier than any truck because they are ones that are used the most often, and they're the ones that can suffer from lack of maintenance and can be the real polluters because, of course, they're moving around in our cities.
They're in the stop and go traffic. And
that's right. They're all congested with us, with all those other cars. So it becomes definitely something that could be eliminated, would be a plus for everyone that's living in the city.
Yeah, no time to take them off the road either, because that's usually a smaller operation.
That's right.
What do we think is going to hit first, the 300 mile, the 500 mile? And are they going to ramp it like the Model 3? Or are they going to try and hit the ground running?
That's a really good question. I don't know about the battery size as to what they will roll out first. I imagine, though, why wouldn't they go for what they like Tesla? Tesla seems to under-promise and over-deliver when it comes to these vehicles when they first roll out. So I bet you they go for that 500 right out of the gate. I bet you they say, here's our 500-mile truck, and it's 550 or something like that.
Unless they're battery constrained, and then maybe going with the shorter range one, they can release more vehicles without diverting the batteries that they need for Cybertrucks and other things.
That's possible too.
Or maybe they start with the 500, and by the time the Cybertruck is ready to roll, that's when the 300 comes out.
Yeah. Lots of fun stuff in the future here for us.
Yes. But I can hardly wait to see them start to roll out of Texas. That's going to be really a fun day to see when they start to roll out and you know it doesn't look like Fremont does now, where the only trucks are pulling up or pulling cars away. These things will be rolling out front to back, and how are they going to transport them?
So here's the thing: they could do the humpy truck thing where the trucks are all rolling back.
That's true.
Back.
Yeah.
Or this is what I'm wondering if they might do. If they might get a first load deal with their customers and send it out with a carrier full of Teslas. Here's a bunch of cars.
Here's your truck. Return the trailer with it next week. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Well, speaking of good ideas, Tesla, of course, Elon came up with the idea of, hey, why don't we get into the liquor distribution business? What could we do there? And Tequila was born, and we had a story that happened this week. What's that, Patrick?
Yeah, this started out as a nice April Fool's gag in 2018 when Tesla was going bankrupt. Yeah, and as with many things, if you assume that Musk is joking, maybe he's not. So they were not able to get the name Tequila. The trademark office nixed that part. Big Tequila got strike back there. But they were able to get Tesla Tequila, and there's the picture of that beautiful bottle. And these sold out within a couple of hours. And I was lucky enough to get my order in on time, which is usually not the case because these things always come out while I'm busy at work. And this just happened to be when I was taking a break and saw, hey, cool. So they're supposedly shipping by the end of the year. So you'll see one sitting back here in the background soon. I'll share it with you. The cool thing here is the bottle design is just awesome. And then my understanding is that they were like, well, how are we going to stand this bottle up? And the Franz's design team said, we'll make a stand for it. And so this was a very collaborative effort with the tequila company and Tesla for this awesome design.
Yeah, this was quite a surprise. Typically, like Patrick said, these things come out while I'm at work or without enough time for me to, because usually they're in a price range where we have a budget where you got to talk to the spouse, and so the communication is not facilitated. But this one, I saw it, I pulled it up on my phone, and I showed my wife. I'm explaining it to her. I'm about to explain it to her, really. She sees the picture. She says, "What's that?" I said, "It's Tesla Tequila." And as I start to go into my spiel, she says, "Buy it." Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm in the order for one. I'm like, "You think we should get two?" She said, "Just buy one." and then they sold out, and I was like, "Oh, we should have bought two."
So you didn't make it?
No, we got one.
Oh, okay, good.
We should have got two. So there'll be one on this shelf, wherever the shelf happens to be next.
Very cool.
And I was going to be the third one in this party, but of course they don't sell them in Canada, so I'm out of luck.
Oh,
I'll just have to wait for the next surfboard, I guess. So yeah, well, the price of this, guys, what's the cost of this this unique bottle and beverage?
It more than they charge for their other products.
$250.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, but free shipping.
Free ship. It better be, man.
Their other products go for what, $80 to $90?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a much better purchase than the shorts. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I did not order the shorts. I could have, and I just didn't see the value for money there. It would be a neat little gag, but this I can actually go away.
Yep.
I got permission for the short shorts because I wouldn't be wearing them. They'd be for my wife. I got permission to order her some shorts after they sold out. So I was like,
You asked for permission a lot. I asked for forgiveness. This is just a difference.
See, have you met the wrath of a 5-foot Asian woman?
Well, hey, if you bought them as a present for her, you're not supposed to, pre-announce those.
But they were short shorts, and they have advertising on the rear end. Yeah. So I kind of got to ask permission for
that. So that's an interesting development. We'll have to see when you guys get them in, and it looks like that stands aluminum. That's going to look pretty cool.
It will. And then Patrick's going to find out if the bottle is tinted or clear, or if just the cap is tinted or clear.
Yeah, and he's told us he has to drink the whole thing, so he's completely sure that it's clear or it's not clear. He's not going to go any middle ground.
Yeah. Right. We might have a well-lit version of this show.
That's going to be a hell of a show, that one.
We should do that one live.
Yeah. One hell of a show, that one. Yeah. We'll have to keep people apprised of when that will be, definitely. Next,
my mixing board hooked back up.
Oh, there it is.
I still don't have the audio interface, but it will show up by the time the move is complete.
Yeah, or it'll find it when you start to move again, and that'll be lost again.
If it doesn't show up on the next move when we unpack the boxes, I'm buying a new one.
Yeah. Next story is the Made in China Model Y, which is coming. Just got approval, regulatory approval in China that it can now be registered as a vehicle. So they had gone to the Transportation Board and filed the proper paperwork. And now Model Y can be registered as a vehicle for use in China. So that's got to let us know that they're darn close to starting to produce these vehicles, because Tesla's pretty close when it comes to getting the approval to the point of them starting to roll off the assembly line. So I would say that within the next couple weeks, we're going to start seeing some Model Ys rolling off the line in Shanghai. So good news for Tesla, because of course those are going to be contributing towards the end of the year total, the end of the quarter and end of the year totals. So Tesla is still racing towards that 500,000 vehicles they're trying to achieve by the end of 2020. And that's going to be a heck of an achievement to make, especially with the pandemic still going along. It's going to be, it's certainly affected other car companies in a much more negative fashion than it has Tesla. But still, I've got to believe it's hurt them somewhat. This extra vehicle now being produced in a second factory will allow them to continue to roll them out and produce higher numbers and count towards that total. So that's good.
I'm still not seeing why this was wrapped before it went to get its testing. It was very rare for Tesla to wrap their cars, and this one was wrapped from nose to tail. And the only thing different I see between this one and the other is the rear badging. They don't have a picture of the left side, so I can't even see the what is typically a fuel door on the S&X, but on the Model 3 they just have the two ports kind of staggered. So
right.
I imagine they're the same on the Model Y. So I don't know why they were hiding it before the tests.
I'm not sure. Not sure why that would be. It doesn't make much sense that they would be hiding anything, really, because it's not like this is a brand new vehicle. No one's ever seen it.
It's pre-announcement,
Yeah. So we'll have to see if they start to roll off the line soon. But again, with the timing, I can pretty well guess that it is going to be in the next couple of weeks, I would think.
Yeah, like you said, they've got a goal of 500,000, and they're to make that. They can't wait too long.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't want to
Typically,
roll
they
them
get
out.
their approval and stuff is just rolling out the door right after that. So
Yeah,
even tomorrow.
what we will find out is that they've been registering them already for the last 3 weeks. It's just that they've been saying they're Model 3s.
If they can get away with that there, you know they will.
This is a Model 3 that's got a lift kit. That's the only difference.
Model 3 XL.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I didn't know that MIC was made in China. I was like, what is this MIC Model Y? It took too longer than it should have to figure out that.
Was it 2 years now?
Very good. Next, Casey's got a story in the Big Apple. What's happening there?
Big Apple. Mark has got a picture for us. So, as you guys know, I'm a former Uber driver, and so I know a thing or two about people getting in and out of your car. And how about in New York City, if you call a yellow cab and it happens to roll up and look like a Model 3? Because it is a Model 3.
Boom.
There you are. And they even got a retweet by Elon about this. They're going to order more than they're going to electrify their fleet of more than 13,000 taxis in the city, and you should expect this to roll up on you sometime in 2021. They're going to have 170 of these. So
that's amazing. Well, it is something that is bound to. We knew it was coming. It just makes economical sense for fleets to use this type of a vehicle if they can. Saving on the maintenance, saving on the fuel costs is what fleets are all about. So having something that cuts down on all of that just makes complete sense. And on top of it, some other jurisdictions have been using the Model 3 as a taxi already. So NYC is not the first. It's just probably going to be the largest.
Yeah, they're definitely not the first. We've seen, like 6 other groups do this at least on the Model 3, let alone the Model S and the Model X, which have been all over Europe and Canada and as taxis or hire cars, limos.
Exactly. I remember doing a story on a Model S in Quebec City that was in place. Gee, it must have been 5 years ago now. So this is just makes sense. So now the Model 3 is going to be rolling out in NYC as a yellow cab.
So I see that it's got the chrome handles, and so the question now is, are the people going to get out, or are they going to roll the window down? And how are they going to get in? Or are they going to get the kit that opens the door handle for you so they know what to grab?
Yeah, because with it maybe showing up to a person that's never seen one before or knows what it is, the door handles are always a bit of trouble.
Yes.
Yeah, so this will normalize that. People will.
This is true.
We know that one of the best ways to sell an EV is to get butts in seats, and so this will help with that. And people will realize, hey, look, if this is good enough for a taxi where they're driving all the time, then sure, it's going to work for me. And they can also talk to the driver about, oh, how do you like this? And so I think this is all good.
That big touchscreen staring in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bet you that the majority of them are going to be the 2021s or later, where they have well, you can always buy the stickers and put them on there telling people where to click to open the doors.
But in this article, did it mention the size of the battery? Did they choose a long range?
I didn't see mention of the battery. I'm guessing it's going to be down to the individual companies, because at this point the Taxi Commission has approved it, and then the actual taxi companies or individual owner-operators will have to secure the vehicles.
Right. So, well, again, operating in Manhattan, you wouldn't need a long range as long as you've got ability to charge it.
There's chargers all over New York.
Yeah, so it probably is not. Well, it doesn't have to be. Certainly, they could save money on that. But very good. Start to roll out. That'll be, and as Patrick mentioned, being shown to other people that have no access to it previously is just going to help the entire EV movement for sure.
Yeah.
Our next story is about the Boring Company, who keeps on digging. They're just digging away. And what's happened this past week is they have started to build an exterior station at the Las Vegas Loop. So we've got a picture here we can share. Here we go. Now, this is the parking lot of, I believe it's the North Hole. And we've got a structure being built in the parking lot that is, that's in the box here, obviously. But this is kind of matches the drawings that were done by the Boring Company as to what the actual station would look like. But after examining for a little while, I came up with, where's the tunnel?
Where's the trash can?
Where's the trash can? Of course, they're still in their drawings. That's where the trash cans are. But this is supposed to be an above ground station, I believe. So where does the tunnel come out? So the cars can come out of the tunnel and drive around the station and pick up the people and then go back into the tunnel.
So does it drive down that road and then just kind of loop through like a taxi or a bus station to pick them up?
Possibly. Maybe it's out of the picture, but
or is there an elevator like in the original drawings? I
just found this kind of strange. It's definitely not going to be an elevator. Well, if it is, nobody else knows about it either. So it's definitely a ramp somewhere. Yeah. But
ramps make a lot more sense. You can just drive up and down them and go when you're ready, not stop and wait. And
yeah,
if you have hundreds of entry and exit points, then maybe elevators work better. But here, where it's, I think a ramp is the way to go.
Yeah, you're not super space constrained like downtown New York or something.
Right. Now there is this little box that's mapped out here. With the wooden railing around it. I'm wondering if that's a drop into the tunnel.
Maybe it's a crate with a sign in
it. I don't know what it is. But if it is part of the tunnel structure, the network, maybe the ramp is out of the picture. Maybe that's a possibility.
Oh, it could be an air vent.
But we'll have to see if, because they were obviously starting to pave, they had to get the structure built ahead of time, and now they're going to pave around it. So this was happening at the very end of last week. So I would assume we're going to get a few more photos during this week, and we'll probably see the progress and probably be able to spot the ramp at that point. But I just found that kind of interesting.
Yeah, me too. They had the picture earlier where it showed that you go down stairs or escalators down to where you load into the vehicles. But it seems like putting all that loading and unloading underground would be a lot of expense, where instead do it on the surface level and have a building there, and then have the cars drive in and out of that and down a ramp and into the tunnel. And it would be a whole lot cheaper to build a surface level loading and unloading.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. For sure. So we'll have to see as this moves along, because there's going to be two surface area, the south and the north hole surface area loading ports, and then there's an underground port in between. So covering 3 of the halls was the purpose of this. So and Elon had indicated that they were still on time, that their contract was due at I believe it was the very end or the very beginning of next year. So it was either the end of this year or the very beginning. It was for CES 2021, which of course has been canceled now. But the contract indicates it had to be built by then. So operational. So it'll be interesting to see as that date approaches, when will the first inaugural run be? I'm sure we will be notified when it does happen.
Yeah, they're in the home stretch.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't like to miss their contract dates.
No, you don't want to miss the contract date, because money will be charged. Absolutely.
They don't like to give stuff away for free anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of free, this has nothing to do with free, but I thought I'd leave with that. Casey's got a story about a completed milestone that just happened.
Yes. Tesla has announced that they have 20,000 superchargers deployed in their supercharger network. And I didn't see where they said it was. There was one in Europe, and then there was another one in the Southwest, I believe, but they didn't say which was which.
Now this is 20,000 individual charging stations, right? Not the site itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Plugs.
Right.
Yeah.
20,000 plugs worldwide.
Yes. Which is still great. I mean, because when you look at what everybody else considers to be a station, they're only counting plugs. So that is incredible. And they're only continuing to accelerate. As we mentioned, did we mention the Charleston Supercharger finally opened after I moved away?
As soon as you moved away, they had plans in action, ready to go. Somebody said, I just saw Casey leave in his U-Haul. Let's get to work.
We just got some here. The Hillsboro station just opened. It's at a Target right off of Highway 26. And one in Ashland, Oregon, Southern Oregon, just opened. Which is funny because they already had one in Grants Pass, which isn't that far from Ashland. So I'm not sure why they added one there, but that's great. They need to open one in Roseburg. That's between Salem and Southern Oregon. That's the one that they need to open. It's on the coming soon list. It's been on that list for like a year and a half now.
I'll tell you where they need one.
That's nothing. Try 4 years. Coming soon.
I tell you where they need one, and Mr. Evan Fusco would agree. They need one between Springfield and not Nashville, Memphis. That's where they need one. There's a huge empty block that they need to throw one down in that neck of the woods in order to make travel for the good doctor to be able to get to Memphis, because he's been complaining of that since I've known him. So that's been a long time for him.
Yeah, they're only accelerating, and I like that. And then they're also going to do service centers the same way as we saw on the earnings call. Would they say basically like one a week or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One a week for all of 2021 will be cool. That service, with the number of vehicles they're pumping out, they're going to need more service centers and more superchargers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's keep it rolling, and let's hit 30,000, because we're definitely going to need them with the uptake of Tesla. You push out 500,000 vehicles in a year, they need chargers to help them for those cross-state or regional drives, definitely.
Especially with all the competition rolling out next year, they need to be on point with customer service and the ability to actually take long trips in your car.
Right.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the advantages that Tesla has, is their charging network. It's just nice to be able to hop in, punch in anything on your continent, and it'll just plan a route for you where to stop and charge, and it makes it really easy.
Yeah, and one thing I've learned here, not having daily charging, is as long as you're in the green when you start your trip, you're gonna make it. It's good. You're fine. So I just punch in where we're going. I don't even worry about what state of charge I'm starting with, because I don't park it in yellow or red anyway. So we're good.
Well, that's right. You're kind of living a different charging life, aren't you, Casey? After you moved, whereas before it was just plug in the garage when you got home, and in the morning you had a full tank every time. But now it's a little bit different for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going from 80 amps to no amps back to 12 amps.
Another story. This time, this is kind of perplexing. This was announced just this week that the Boring Company apparently is coming to Austin, Texas. Now, it's weird that there is no project, as far as we know, in Austin, Texas for the Boring Company to fulfill. But Elon had indicated that he talked a little bit about how the chalk underneath the earth in Austin is the best in the world for digging, for placing a tunnel in. And he also indicated that the Boring Company is now hiring for a positions. And of course, if you go take a look at the employment notice, the only requirement is you need to be able to dig good.
I suggested the Brave Tunnel.
This is kind of interesting. Why would Austin need a tunnel? Is there a tunnel requirement for the new factory? Is there as Patrick had mentioned before the show, is there something that they want to be traveling to Austin itself, or maybe the airport? Yeah, it's we really don't know what this is about. Just this little bit of leaked information happened earlier in the week.
Yeah, and it's not as far out from society as Giga Nevada is, so it's not like they are going to have trouble getting people in, unless Elon's tired of traffic there too, and he's just going to ride his tunnel on in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why are you late, number 12? I gave you a tunnel.
Shouldn't these technically be Boring Company jobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they are not Tesla jobs. They're Boring Company jobs.
Part of the Muskiverse.
Musco, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open for that. I'm not sure where that's going to lead us, but again, another almost like an Easter egg, just a little bit of a pre-drop, just to let us know something is coming. So that's kind of interesting for sure.
Maybe to throw us off the scent.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to keep on top of things, certainly follow us on our Twitter feed at The Tesla Life, on our Facebook feed, which Mr. Connor narrates for us. Thank you very much, sir. Which will be The Tesla Life #1. You can follow us there. And if you're watching this video now and haven't done already, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And that helps us out in the YouTube algorithm and gets more eyeballs on the show. So certainly help us out in that way if you can, please. Next, we've got a little bit of a warranty story. What's that about?
Yeah, so we mentioned supercharging earlier. If you have an older vehicle, maybe you get free supercharging with it. That used to be a thing. Free supercharging for life. And well, here's something else with that older vehicle that would be free now. If you have a Model S or X that was built before March of 2018, like I do, then Tesla has now adjusted their warranty program to cover malfunctions of the multi-memory card, the in the MCU one there. And let me just read just a little bit of this to you. And Tesla is providing eligible owners who experience malfunctions a no-cost repair to this part of any Tesla service center for 8 years or 100,000 miles from initial delivery date. So there you go. You might be able to get a free upgrade. And depending on what else you were having done, I've heard it could have been anywhere from $1,700 to $2,200 to have this done. So that's it's nice that they're covering this. And mine hasn't gone out, but I now I'm not worried if it does.
And that's if if it wasn't, some of the folks early on, they didn't even get the option for the repair. They were forced to buy a new MCU at $4,000 plus labor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also says that if you have, let's see, if you have already paid for repairs that meet the conditions of the program, you may be eligible for reimbursement. So there you go.
Give me my $4,000 back.
Yeah, if you had spent $4,000 on this, you might. I don't know. That was an upgrade, so that's different.
Oh no, the upgrades were $2,500 to go from MCU1 to MCU2, and you lose your radio. But some people got MCU1 to MCU1 and had to pay for a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good that they've taken that back into the warranty based on their experience of what they're seeing in the field and what people have been experiencing with the car. So that's very good to be able to have a manufacturer that's standing behind their product and based on what they see in the field, making adjustments to that warranty.
Yeah, I was thinking, as you guys were talking, I was thinking that's kind of short. But then at the same time, it's double what was offered before. It was 4 years, 50,000 miles, and now it's 8 years, 100,000 miles. A lot of the owners I'm seeing are going to hit that within probably about 60,000 miles and about 6 years. So you're covered. I missed the cutoff by a couple of months. My vehicle was built in August of 2018.
Uh-huh.
But you have a different product.
I do have a different product, so
yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you won't hit this problem, so you don't need the coverage.
Maybe. Allegedly.
I see.
Very good. Next, let's take a look at another facet of I guess the Tesla universe, and that would be, of course, SpaceX and Starlink. Starlink, of course, has started the deployment of a partial network for internet across the world, and of course, it is. The way that they've started to deploy it, these satellites are I guess most effective in the northern part of North America, which includes my country of Canada. And recently, the CRTC, our governing body for communications networks, has approved the Starlink operation network to operate in Canada. So we are now the second country that has been approved to use Starlink, of course, USA being number one. And now Canada has that option as well. So there are going to be a number of Canadians that will probably be added to the beta that is currently starting to roll out. And of course, if you're in a rural area, having that satellite receiver at about $500 for the initial upfront cost and $100 per month, those are US figures, might be very good for people that don't have access to high-speed internet. Of course, people that are in cities or more urbanized areas, you're probably getting your internet at a lower rate already than that. So it depends on what part of the country you're in, but certainly as you go further and further north, those options do not exist. And this really will be one of the only options available to you, and it will be another option that you could use. So that's going to be certainly popular for people that live in the northern climates and the rural areas.
Yeah, some people out in the sticks, they can get medium speed internet for double that price, or worse, they can pay maybe even triple or quintuple that price for low-speed satellite internet.
Right.
So this will be a welcome opportunity. Have you guys downloaded the app to see where you'd have to place your dish?
No.
I have not. Have you?
I heard you pointed at the sky and plug it in. 2 steps.
You point at the sky and plug it in, but they have an Android app and an iOS app that will tell you where you'll get the best speeds if you point it. So mine happens to be through the loud neighbors.
Ah, okay. So I know why mine isn't working because I've got it pointing at the ground. So now I've got that figured out. So I should be good.
So before the show, we found out that Patrick would be more likely to get it before you.
That's right. That's right.
So I signed up as a beta volunteer back in June. I'm north of the 45th, and that was in the U.S. the first place they offered it. But they're focusing on rural areas where people don't already have access, and I have good internet here. I'm on gigabit Fios, so no complaints here. But I just think it would be cool to be beaming the Tesla life over satellites to you guys. That would be awesome.
Live remote.
Yeah.
I'd like it as a backup connection at the very least while they get it all split up, and then I'd like to drop when they ultimately raise the rates on the landline. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, well, certainly it will be another option for many, and especially with those that don't have many options, it's going to be a wonderful option. So we'll have to see as this goes along. And of course, this is a beta. It's you hear testing speeds popping in and out of the internet here and there. But of course, as the more and more satellites get added to this network and it begins to push down further into North America, we'll have to see if those speeds get faster, if they stay the same, or what happens. But it's very interesting to watch from the outside at this point.
Yeah, I was looking at another YouTuber. She it takes her quite a while to upload her shows, and they're going over like municipal Wi-Fi, so it's like bigger versions of what we got inside the house, but just outside. And at the rates they charge us, I was impressed that it works at all. And it's like, hey, are you going to do Starlink when it hits your area? And they said would definitely be interested in at least trying it out. So
yeah. Very good.
Yeah, so
well,
if you're in the Yukon or the Northwest Territory and you're watching our show, let us know, and we hope you get this soon.
Oh, and if you haven't already, go to Starlink.com and sign up for the beta.
Yeah.
Get in the
You're way up there. Do it.
Definitely.
Any Alaska viewers?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the U.S.
Yeah.
With that, another change that has happened just recently, we've heard about, of course, the Model 3 refresh, where it's gotten a number of things such as the chrome delete, it's got the power trunk, it's got the new octave valve, it's got the heat pump. All these things have combined in this new release. And now on top of it, we found that the Model 3 long range is now up to an 82 kilowatt battery. So they have, there's been someone who got one of the new cars, went searching for stickers on the car and found that the battery has been increased from about 79.9 up to 82. So this is basically within that range. The Panasonic had indicated that their batteries were at a 4% increase in energy density. And this amount kind of couples with that. So we're believing that the 2170s have just been increased in their density. And when you add them all together, you get this extra amount of kilowatt hours. So, and of course, the car was indicated that it got a bump in range. We knew about that ahead of time. And this is more of the information on that same subject. So good to see again that things are moving along, getting better as time goes along. More energy dense, longer ranges, and better designs. So just more things that Tesla does not stand still. They just keep moving forward.
Yeah, this was part of the speculation why people were wondering, like, the amount of range increase is more than just octavalve, blah, blah, blah. They must be the new cells, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. They just put more cells, more capacity in the battery pack.
Right. You can improve the chemistry without going to a new form factor.
Exactly. And so I'm wondering, with quite so many changes already at the same time, if that was why they went ahead and pushed forward the new model year this year. They've done them early in the past, but usually there's no difference between the calendar year on the cars. It's just it was the digit on the sticker. But this one, all the changes were in there at one time.
Exactly. So we'll have to see if some more changes show up, but that's quite a bit of refresh for that vehicle. And again, glad to see the improvements and the continual march forward, that they're not resting on their laurels. They're just adding to this, and just makes it better for everyone. So fantastic.
Right. And this is exactly the kind of progress we talked about the semi-truck earlier. So if you're starting with a 500-mile vehicle, well, the battery chemistry is getting better 3 to 5% every year, and you can roll out new ranges every so often. And we saw that just early on with the Model S, where they had 40, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 100. The pack sizes were growing. And now we've got the same thing happening here with the Model 3, and I'm sure we'll see it continuing with the semi-truck. And every improvement like this allows them to either put fewer cells in and reduce the price of the vehicle, or to have more range and offer more features. And that's the cool thing about this advancement in technology.
Absolutely. Speaking of technology, Patrick, we've got our last story, which is about the Crew Dragon mission. Mission 1 is scheduled to happen this Saturday, the launch, at about 7:49 p.m. From the Cape. And we certainly wish the 4 astronauts all the luck in the world, and certainly we'll be watching the takeoff. But again, this is the continuation of SpaceX moving forward with their mission, which now is moving from a cargo as well as manned crew missions, which we've already seen the test one where 2 astronauts, Bob and Doug, went, and now we've got a full amount of crew. A typical 4-man crew is going to be launched into the space.
Crew, Mark.
I'm sorry.
Or human crew.
Yeah, and And from different countries too. We get
Yeah.
the U.S. and Japan on board on this particular run.
Yep.
And this is exciting news. And the four-person crew will be taking off this Saturday evening, which is going to be spectacular. If you're in Florida, I imagine seeing this Roman candle streak through the night on its way to the ISS.
Yep, they have 3 of the astronauts are veterans, and one it'll be their first trip to space, and he will get his gold bars or gold name badge as soon as he has crossed the Kármán line.
So does he have to go? Does he have to go to the space station with only a silver name badge?
White name badge. Yes.
A white name badge. Okay.
Yes. They've been in quarantine since the 31st, and hopefully, Hurricane, Tropical Storm, whatever Theta, doesn't cause them any trouble. Nor the remnants of Theta. We've had quite a bit of storms this year.
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't play with the launch times.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be through the area, but then the question is if that will affect the abort zones or the recovery vessels. So.
Right.
And they need all that clear. It's really weird when you see that they say that it's being scrubbed due to weather, and then they're showing the camera angle and this all clear sky. And that's not the only place it has to be perfect.
I'm going to throw in one extra story that I even warned you guys about. I've got some late breaking news. What happened is this afternoon I happened to go by the Kitchener Tesla store, which of course is right in my backyard here in Kitchener, Ontario. And the store is now open. So we now have a service center as well as a gallery and sales and shortly in the future, a delivery center. So fantastic. Just a couple shots on the inside of the building here.
Oh, that's back.
From this afternoon. Yep, the battery sled is out front.
They removed it from a lot of stores.
That's right. Yeah. But this, if you'll notice from the pictures, this is a massive showroom floor. Like it's very large compared to most. Because, of course, it's a repurposed building. It wasn't built specifically for Tesla. They repurposed it. But it is a large show space to fill up. So they probably said, oh, we got like 4 sleds. Let's throw them in Kitchener.
Yeah, it's got room because once they have more models, it's more important to have the cars. When they only had the Model S, then you can also have the sled next to it. No, now we've got to make room for an X. Okay, we can keep the sled. Oh, now we've got a 3. Let's move the sleds out.
Yep. And where are we going to put that Cybertruck? There's lots of room in Kitchener for that Cybertruck, let me tell you.
I'm sure it will be popular there, yes.
Actually, I had someone posted immediately once we put this up on Twitter, and their first question was, will it fit a Cybertruck? So, yes, it will. Absolutely, it will. And I'm going to leave an Easter egg for you guys based on something that happened in today's show. And a picture you're looking at right here. I've got a short little video clip that I'm going to put up on Twitter, and it kind of ties both together. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to go to Twitter to check it out, or maybe we'll show it next week if you don't check it out on Twitter yourself after the show. But watch for that. It's coming up shortly. And with that, I think we will say thanks you to Lee Moon, who we use the music every week. And Patrick, any shout-outs?
Sure. I'm a member of the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net. Thanks.
Very, very good. Casey, any shout-outs from you?
Yeah, I do all sorts of Tesla lifey stuff. As far as software updates, supercharger reviews, and more over at youtube.com/Casey Green. That's KACEYGREEN. My most recent video is software update 2020.44, the whole series. As far as the non-FSD beta folks.
Fantastic. Yes, so check Casey out there. And if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. And we will see you next week and find out what's going on in the Tesla life. Good night, everyone.
Stay sharp. Stay safe.